So thank you so much again for the opportunity. I'm a huge Motherland Fort Salem fan, so kind of a little bit of like a fangirl geeking out for me to get a chance because I love your character and she's still so shrouded in mystery at the same time too.
Thank you for talking to me. I'm like excited myself. This is very exciting.
I mean, we obviously know Kalita is very clever and shrewd, and she hides a lot of what she thinks. And I want to sort of ask a little bit about kind of what kind of breakdown did you originally get for Kalita, and then kind of how she sort of might have evolved now into the Kalita we've seen the season 3 coming up, how you kind of really constructed her in that way as well.
So when I first got the audition, first it was very like the breakdown was very like it couldn't make up its mind. It was like it was like she's this, but she's not this. But she's this, but she's not that. She's this and not that. And we were like, okay. So I put a lot of research into it, and I was like, I have to get this right. And so in the first season, she was very like you couldn't see what she was thinking, but as we moved on, you could see a bit more of her emotions. And definitely, we might see a little bit more emotion from her in season 3.
I mean, she's like a 300-year-old soul in a child's body.
Yeah. Wisdom.
Yeah, she has a lot of wisdom. I mean, she even faced off with General Alder and didn't bat an eye, didn't sweat a minute. She has this, I guess, innate nature, or maybe over the years has developed this just like very needle direct approach to dealing with people. And I wanted to sort of ask a little bit about that aspect as well, and kind of how you constructed that regard as well.
Basically, she is a child. She's just gotten like ancient wisdom passed down from like her family and everything, and she didn't trust Alder like at all, and she didn't want to seem scared, so she kept her guard up the whole time. And it was very fun to play her because you like as a kid you don't get to act that way like in real life, so it was very fun to play Kalita, and she's like my favorite thing that I've ever played, and I love her so much. But yeah, she didn't trust Alder at all, and it's very fun to play with Lynn as well. She's so funny, like she was great.
I mean, they say respect your elders, but which one is the elder, Alder or Kalita in that moment? Sort of. Kalita and Adil and the people of the Tarim, though, have sort of lived by this code of pacifism for so long in this tradition, and sort of that changed in season 2 in the finale, where we see Kalita, kind of defend her brother. Will Kalita kind of struggle, if you can say, with this new vision of ideals, and as the group sort of gets closer or to the Camarilla, or will she kind of be drawn back to these traditional senses that we've seen from her?
Well, once she saw that all these lives were in danger, something kind of broke in her. Like she saw like Adil is like, she thinks that's all she has like at that moment, especially at Fort Salem. And she's very, very close to Adil. And she saw like the evil in this man's eyes. She was like, a life is going to be taken either way. It's either my brother's life or this person's life. And she was like, something broke into me. So it was just like a quick, like, I have to do this. So in season 3, I think she is a little bit more open to all of these new ways.
Yes, I had the pleasure of already getting to watch the season premiere screener, and it also, we talk about these traditions, and it seems like that's still a significant factor, especially for Kalita and the people of the Tarim. I mean, she is teaching these young children, the other children, Manish, and I'm Jewish, and the scene really reminded me of a specific historical event, as I know that Elliot likes to riddle things in different political landscapes and of course relatable things. And I wanted to sort of ask then how, at least for the Tarim people, tradition in a sense has become a great power, especially in that reflection as well. Sort of like I said, with this historical event that I sort of connected with in that moment. How does that become a power more than a sense than specifically skill work that we get to see through other characters?
Like her like home is very important to her because she is basically like that's her people, you know what I mean? And that's the language that they spoke. And I guess she felt so proud, like teaching these people, these kids, this thing, because yeah, she felt so proud and like this is her people, this is her culture. So she was like, yeah.
I mean, there's a recurring theme of hope in different ways, and passing on traditions and sharing things like language alone is a great part of hope and power in a sense as well. And I really connected to that again as someone who is Jewish, and I felt like that was really important moment, at least for this specific set of characters, and why that makes a difference within this world that's being built, or at least in their scope.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the one thing that Kalita can share with these people. That's like the one thing that. So yeah, she was very proud and very happy to teach these kids language.
Well, we've certainly seen Adil trying to be diplomatic, and this great relationship that he has between the two women in his life, his sister, who's incredibly important, and of course, Abigail, the woman that he loves so much and has become so devoted to. And I wanted to sort of talk about, there's this, of course, great tease of, unions of marriage and Sky, but it can mean a lot of different things. So I wanted to sort of ask about, how does this brother-sister relationship evolve as we see season 3 progress, especially because of the matriarchal side of how Motherland is actually set up?
Yeah. We definitely, he was kind of like rebellious in the last season for sure. And I feel like once Kalita realized all these things, they definitely got closer. And I think she's starting to accept Abigail more and all of these people more, and she's starting to accept these ways, and they definitely got closer for sure.
Well, speaking of getting closer, a large portion of the cast you get to work with a lot more in season 3, since everybody is so close knit, and this big war has been teased, battle coming up. And I wanted to, of course, say that we got to see a teaser trailer today, where it looks like Kalita might have a little bit more closer work or interactions with Tally, someone who's very much not anyone that she's ever really kind of had any relationship or interaction with before. So I wanted to sort of ask you, how was it for you? How excited you were to kind of look forward to getting to share more scenes with a larger portion of the core cast, than rather just, of course, as much as we love to watch you, definitely with Tony and of course, Ashley as well.
Yes, I love working with everyone. I was so excited to work with everyone. We made like TikToks together and stuff like that. Hopefully I get to share soon. And yeah, me and Tony, we would always dance and rap and do rap battles and all kinds of stuff. We would freestyle and just goof off sometimes. And like I was having so much fun with the rest of the cast. We definitely all got closer, and they're like my family. And it was definitely nice to work in scenes with them, for sure.
I was gonna say, besides being a major switch, it's just being a big fan of your TikToks and the creative outlet it offers you, but also like the deeper sense of bonding as well. Of course, we see you working a lot, like we talk about, on screen with Tony a lot. But how does that really kind of help you translate this great brother sisterly bond off screen as well?
Yeah, me and Tony are like a real brother and sister, and we're like we always talk and share things with each other, and I feel like we're like off screen, we're like super like funny and goofy, and we're rapping and dancing and blah 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 and being like real brothers and sisters. And then as soon as they say action, we're into that character. And were close in real life, so you can see that on screen, which is very nice. And I cried and cried and cried so much. Like, I couldn't stop crying. I cried for like days when we left for set. I was so sad, and I couldn't just stop hugging Tony and hugging all the cast. I didn't want to leave. And yeah, it was very there was tears everywhere.
I was gonna say, as much as we see emotionally on screen, I can only imagine, like the last day
Yeah.
after it's been longer than 3 seasons in a sense, because I believe you filmed like season 1 a couple years ago at least before. So, it's sort of like 4 years ish in a sense of your life that you get to spend, and how much of an emotion to be around the cast, the crew, and just this great loving force that the series has become for you all, is just as much as it has for the fandom.
Yeah, for sure. It was very, very tough leaving them. I did not want to leave. Like, I would stay there, and I was trying to find ways to stay there, to like making excuses to stay there and stuff like that. I was like, I do not want to leave. Like, the very last scene, I just broke down crying like immediately. It was crazy.
Well, I was gonna ask, what was your last moments of filming like, and kind of, if you can, sort of encapsulate just what the show sort of has meant for you as well, personally, as it has professionally.
Yeah, it's definitely means a lot to me. It's definitely very close to my heart. It's a part of me, and Kalita will never leave ever. She's definitely like this other part of me that's like just so important to me, and I love Motherland so much. It was definitely fun to film, and I'm so glad I got this opportunity. Like, I went crazy. Like, when I did the audition, I spent hours like on the audition, and then they called me back, and then we spent more hours on the audition, and then they called me, like, and I was in the like a children's museum, and they called me, and my mom already knew, so that's why she took me to the children's museum to distract herself. And we were just chilling, and then my mom calls me, and she's like, hey, come here, and I was like, am I in trouble? She was like, no. And then she answered the phone, and then I'm talking to my manager, she's like, hey, guess what? And I was like, what? And then she was like, you want to go to Canada? I was like, yeah, I want to go to Canada. And then she was like, you booked Motherland. I was like, I was going crazy. And I was like, I want to scream right now, but I am in public, and I scream. And there was people like lining up around me because they could see my excitement. So they were like, what happened? What happened? I was like, I got like a show. I got a show. They were like, oh, you got the audition? I was like, no, I booked it. I got it. Like, I'm going to film it. They were like, oh, I'm so happy for you. I was like, ah.
Thank you, strangers.
Thank you, strangers. It's definitely important, like, to me, and I love everyone. They're definitely like my other family, and just, yeah, it was very sad leaving them for sure.
Did you get any TikTok tips from like Ashley or Taylor at all?
Well, Ashley did do some TikTok dances, and I kind of watched her and learned some TikTok dances with her and everything. It was really fun. Yeah. Hopefully I get to share the TikToks soon. Excited about those.
Well, did besides these great memories, did you get to
yeah.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say, besides, of course, these wonderful, beautiful memories, is there anything that you maybe got to take that's sentimental from the set, or besides carrying, of course, like you said, Kalita will always be with you.
Mm-hmm. I got some of the clothes, and definitely the memories. Taylor is super duper sweet. She picked like a flower like off of a tree, like a really gorgeous like pink flower, and she showed it to me. I was like, "Ooh, that's so pretty." And she was like smelling them, being like all like beautiful looking with the trees, and I was like, "Oh wow, these flowers are so pretty." And she was like, "I know." And she went over there, she picked one, she gave it to me. I was like, "Oh." So I definitely want to dry that and put it in like a book or something like that. It was very sweet. I know.
Well, speaking of Taylor, in season 1, Rael's character healed Kalita. And I've often sort of wondered if that developed a connection because obviously Kalita has seen a lot of death in her life, and Rael is a bearer of life. And it seems like these two sort of have a lot more in common. And I wanted to ask a little bit about what kind of connection might we see between these two that you could maybe share. I don't want you to get into trouble, but these characters seem to have always had kind of a deeper connection that we haven't gotten to explore more.
Yeah, Kalita definitely looks up to Rael. She likes Rael, like she looks up to her, she likes her style. So she kind of like, you'll see that she wears kind of her style. She takes like kind of like her fashion tips and like, yeah. And she definitely likes Rael and definitely looks up to her for sure. And you do see a little bit of more of a connection with them for sure.
I know there's a fan theory that there's a connection to Kalita and the mycelium because there's this image of sort of like Kalita's face sort of through the mycelium in a sense, but I know you can't talk about that part, but
Yeah.
but there's a lot of fan theories. How are you connected within the Switches? Have you seen like the outpouring for the Save Motherland campaign, and what kind of fan feedback are you sort of aware of?
I've seen some theories and I've actually seen some that are correct, but of course I can't say it. But I love looking at everyone's theories and everyone's like things like that. And like Kalita's age, like all their theories on Kalita's age, and they think like she's like this older person, but of course she's like an actual child, just with, like wisdom and stuff like that. But it's very nice to see all their theories, and I can't say too much about the mycelium and stuff like that, but it's very, very cool, and I'm very excited for all of you to see it in season 3.
Is there a specific moment then from filming, at least whether it's not necessarily season 3, that sort of really kind of has imprinted and has been sort of your most memorable moment that you've shared from the show?
Um, let's see. I have to think. I know there's one like in my mind, but I have to think. Huh. There's like a bunch. I know making TikToks for sure with everyone. And like I want to say some from season 3, but like I can't give anything away. But it's actually fun for that. And my mind just went like completely blank. But I know for sure episode 5 was very fun. I can't say too much about it, but it was very fun working with everyone and having like a scene like moment with them. And I know for sure in season 1, which was like super fun, I remember that for sure, was when I was eating mac and cheese and I started like, that's like my favorite one, is eating the mac and cheese, and I kept on like complimenting the people who made the mac and cheese because it was so good. I was like, you are very good at making mac and cheese, this is so good. They were like, thank you. And then I started like the earthquake and everything, so everything was like going like this and everything. And I remember one time in season 1 when I was laying like on the bed when I was making the growling noises, and there were papers flying around everywhere. And then one flew right across my face like that. And I was like, whoa, that was crazy. And then someone was under the bed shaking it. And every once in a while, they would pop up and they'd be like, hey. And I was like, hey. They were like the nice monster under my bed.
I was going to say, you have more pleasant dreams that way.
Yeah.
Is there something, maybe a piece of advice that maybe Elliot has given to you or anyone else from the series that really kind of also has resonated and sort of stuck with you? Not necessarily about filming the series, but maybe as far as like acting or.
Well, Arlen would always help, and Lynn as well. Arlen told me, like, she gave me this tip where you smile at the end of your scenes, like no matter what like emotion it is. If you're crying or anything, you kind of smile at the end. like if it's in your mind or if it's physical, to add like a little bit of like sparkle in your eye, and a little bit of, and she also helped me to read my lines. Like when she always helps me with my auditions and gives me tips and stuff like that. And I had this like scene that this audition that I got that was super last minute, and it had like 3 scenes in it and like long paragraphs and everything. And I gave it to her, and she gave me this tip where you read like each line in a different way and each like word, like you enunciate each word. And she told me that, and she helped me a lot with that and memorized it like that. And yeah, I think I did pretty good on that one for it to be so last minute.
I mean, I was gonna say we got to see you on her IG stories doing this in this botanical garden, and it was so like cute to watch you guys together and playing around, and because we don't get to see Nikta obviously and Kalita, or maybe we will. but
so much. It was so fun. I got a TikTok with Arlen in it too, and S as well, and they were amazing. Like I love them so much, and I think it would be fun, like to have like a battle between like Arlen, between Nikta and Kalita. I think that'd be kind of funny. Like if they had like a sass battle or something, because Kalita is kind of sassy and then Nikta is like sassy too. So they got those little pop backs, and you know what I mean? So I think that'd be pretty funny.
that would have been fun to see. You guys could play off of each other's energy really well, and it was from at least watching your stories and Arlen's stories, it's been so amazing to just watch the love and the reverence and the care that just everybody has for each other behind the scenes, on screen as well. It's just so nice to watch you all work together and just even just be together though too. It's not even like,
and like Amalia, she helped me like with just to be myself and to help me kind of a little bit with my confidence and like stuff like that, and to like not like judge, like just be myself, try to not judge myself, and be just more yourself, and not be like, I guess because like ourselves, we're so hard on ourselves sometimes, and we like judge ourselves like all the time, and she told me to just yeah.
oh, I love her. She has just like the
So,
best heart and biggest mind. She
yes.
has the kindest soul to her, and I love how nurturing and giving she is and good natured.
Yeah, and she came over like for my birthday. I ended up having my birthday in Canada, like for filming, and everyone was like busy and stuff like that. And she came over. I didn't know, it was a surprise, and my mom knew, but she didn't tell me, of course. And she came over, and it like made my day. I was so excited. We had pizza and like pizza cake, and it was awesome. And she gave me like these beautiful earrings that I love so much. And Arlen and S, they sent me like little goodies as well. And I had like these donuts that S gave me and Arlen, and like they were so good. Like they were different. Like they had like this rose one, and it was pretty good. I think that was my mom's favorite, was the rose one, and then mine was just the plain one.
Yes, from also what I've learned in a lot of S's stories is how much they love donuts.
I do.
I sort of shipped them in donuts.
That was their favorite donut place, and then they sent me the donuts from there, and I fell in love. It was literally amazing. Like it was like this box of just donuts, and I was like, this is the best day ever.
Sugar is a very good way to get to everybody's heart. But it's also a very nice birthday gift. That was very thoughtful of them.
It was. Like I woke up and all of a sudden I heard a knock, and I was like, what is that? And then I looked out there and I was like, ah! And then I went to my mom and I was like, look. It was amazing. So I had kind of like a breakfast in bed.
Not a shabby way for spending your birthday. Not at all.
It was amazing. It was very rememberable, and it was very special. Very special. And then also near Amalia's birthday as well.
Yes.
We went to go eat at this French restaurant called Le Crocodile. I don't know how to say it, but it was very nice. And the server there was just like amazing. And then Amalia was like, you should try this. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And it was amazing. It was like these little like bread things, like this dough things. And I love bread. So it was like, and then it had ice cream in it, and then hot chocolate just poured all over it. It was amazing. The ice cream was so cold and just refreshing. And then the server gave us free like a pineapple flavored like ice cream thing, like a little tiny like drop of it. And it was, now I'm like craving it. Now I want it.
I ask you about memorable moments. It sounds like the food has been a large part of that.
Yeah, I love the food. Like also like on set, there was this thing that I'd always get called like the pizza croissant. And it was basically like this croissant thing, like the sandwich thing that had like pizza on it. And apparently it was called a ham and cheese sandwich thing, but they said, we're going to call it a pizza croissant now. And I was like, perfect. And then I get that every day and I miss it.
Good for you. You enjoy the spoils that come with working very hard. You sure deserve it.
Thank you. Yes.
But it's nice to hear about this beautiful camaraderie that you guys have together. And I hope that continues. I hope there's, going to be phone calls and your own Zooms together. I don't know if you're going to plan on anything special for, the season premiere or, throughout tweeting or anything social that way.
I don't know just quite yet. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, we look forward.
We're definitely going to keep in touch with the people, like on Twitter and everything. We're definitely going to keep in touch with them, of course. And the live tweet thing, of course.
Yes.
I love that. That's like my favorite thing is to interact with all the people and like be like, oh, wow. Like I've never seen it before.
Yes. Pretend that you didn't know what was coming.
Whoa, that's crazy. Kalita just did this. That's like awesome.
I was gonna say, I don't know if you, obviously you participated in a large part of the season, but if you watched any of the season, get into yet.
I've seen like some of the things, like, because one time I had to go in and do something like a voice thing because one of the voices thing got messed up. So I've seen a couple scenes, but not really, not a lot. Just a couple. And like sometimes when they're filming and stuff, I like to sneak a peek at like the little monitor and I'm like, nice. Which is really cool. And yeah.
Do you have a favorite character then, of course, besides Kalita, or someone that you've gravitated towards that you like to watch?
They're like, I love all of them. Like it's amazing, but a character that I really like and is Hurst, because like his acting is just like so interesting and like I don't know, I just love it so much. It's amazing. Like, and he was really nice too. He was really funny, but then on the screen he was like creepy and like this evil like character. So it was fun to see like the difference between on screen and off screen.
Yes, I've gotten to interview Bob, and he is just the most charming man in the entire world. We call him the Bob Father because he's just so like sweet and like loving on and fun to like tease through social media. He does these like funny, charming things, but then like watching him on screen as Hurst, it's like really creepy, but you also feel sort of drawn to him. And he does this great like Shakespearean presence about him when he's on screen that you can't help but want to be fearful of, but also enticed by at the same time.
Yeah, very interested in his character.
So just my last question then would be, is there anything maybe that we didn't touch upon that you'd like to mention? Anything you have coming up besides Motherland, or just anything you'd like to say to the fans about their continued support for season 3?
Oh yes, thank you so much. Like this is like huge. Like Man, I can't believe, like, if you would have told me like 4 years ago that I would be here right now, I wouldn't believe you. I'd be like, what? That's crazy. You crazy. What do you mean? And they'd be like, yeah, you're gonna be on this show with like these amazing witches and this like amazing cast. I'd be like, huh? That's nah. But it's a huge part like of my life, and I love all of you guys like so very much. And yeah, my fans are like better than everything. Like I love them so much. But like the switches and some things that I do have coming up is I have 2 songs that I wrote, and which I'm really excited about. It's in the works right now. I have one called Mood Swings, and then one song called Non-Existent Emotions, and they're just kind of about like dealing with like certain things like mood swings and like emotions that you can't really describe, and you're like, this feels like an emotion that doesn't exist, because you know there's sadness, there's happy, there's angry, but this doesn't feel like any of those. It feels like none of them or all of them combined. So it's a song that I wrote and I'm gonna sing, and I'm really excited about that.
Something that you're going to release socially or something live that we'll be able to get to watch?
I'm gonna release it socially, like on Spotify and all these programs like that. And I like IMDb. On IMDb, I also have this movie thing that's in the works right now. It's kind of paused right now, but it's attached to my IMDb, which I'm very excited about it. And yeah, I'm excited to like. I want to share all these things like about things, but like at the same time, I don't want to give things away. So I'm like, I don't know. I just want to tell you guys everything.
Well, then hopefully that means we'll get a chance, you and I, to catch up again, maybe after season 3 and some of these releases, so that we can have another opportunity to catch up and share the things that you can share.
Yeah.
Well, just I wanted to say it's been a pleasure to watch you work in this world and be a part of such a special, inclusive, and important series that's been so empowering and meaningful for so many of us. And thank you so much for the work that you've done through Motherland. Thank you for your time today. And I'm excited to watch Magic, Mayhem, Spellbinding season, all the things that you can say witchy.
Yes, for sure. I'm very excited. Like at the same time, I just like also have this thing like I can't wait to share is Elliot. I spoke to Elliot and we had this like magical moment, and he gave me a prop from Motherland. And I can't share it yet, but it's very, very special to me. And yeah, it's very sweet. I love Elliot, love Brian, I love all of them, and I can't wait to see the magic on screen.
I got to speak to Elliot a little bit earlier today, so it was nice to have a chance to catch up with him and pick his deep, 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 dark mind that I love.